Hey guys, welcome back. So this is my review that I've been waiting for a while to do on the Z8. Now I've owned the Z8 since its launch, and you would have seen me doing an unboxing and everything like that. Now this review I'm doing today is basically how I have found the Z8 as a Z8 user since I have purchased it on its launch date on May the 10th. Now, it's not going to be the most technical review, so if you want someone to talk about stats and focus speeds and dynamic range and all that fun stuff, this isn't that type of review. I'm going to show you what I have found that I really love about the camera as a Nikon user, and anything I have found that I don't like or what doesn't work for me. Now, I am going to start off with saying the most important thing for me is that any new camera I have kind of slips into my workflow without any kind of need for adjustment. I don't want to have to go learn a whole new menu system. I don't want to have to buy new accessories. I don't want to have to buy new lenses. I definitely don't want to have to buy new batteries. And I don't have to worry about how it's going to work with post editing and stuff like that. So in regards to that, I'm a long-term Nikon user, and the Z8 falls in that workflow beautifully. There is no need for any adjustments at all. I have had the I've had the ENEL 15 battery since the D7000 series, and I have probably 10 to 15 of those batteries, and they all work in my Z systems. So don't have to worry about the new batteries. I have a Z6, a Z6 II, and a ZFC. I've also got a D850, and until recently had a D800 and D810. So the Z8 falls into that environment very well, and it's seamless for me. Everything works perfectly. So for me, that's the most important thing. So that's a huge tick for me with Nikon there. Now, how have I found the Z8? Now, yes, the one thing I was disappointed with was the 2 recalls, but Nikon openly came up, put their hands up and said, yes, we have to recall them. Some of our units have an issue with 1, the lugs, and 2, the mount. Now, I've used this camera. Yes, it's impacted by both recalls. I have not taken it in to be serviced. And the truth is, I've experienced no problems. I've had multiple lenses on this camera, and they all mounted, all worked fine, no issues at all. Lug-wise, I was aware of the lug issue. I haven't actually put a strap on it at all. I don't really use straps too often, but you can see here I have the 2-peak design little clips, and I've mounted them to my L bracket. Again, I was shooting the wedding with this. This is the one time I've used the strap, and I also had the 70-200mm lens on it. So I wouldn't have mounted that with the lugs anyhow, and I've used the bracket and also a QR plate on the actual lens itself. Worked really well, no issues for me. So again, if I think about my workflow and how those recalls impact that workflow, minimal for me at the moment. I will take it in to get a sensor clean eventually, and I'll leave it there and get the recalls actioned. Pretty easy for me. Now, I'm going to touch on what I don't like about the camera firstly. Now, I have a Z6, a Z6 II, and you'll see in future videos, I actually use the Z6 quite a lot for when I go out and I might go for a walk or a drive or something like that, where I'm not setting out to take photos of anything in particular. I might be out there to take landscapes, do a bit of wildlife photography if it pops up, or I also use it as part of my Astro kit as well. I find that works really well for me. Same with the Z6 II. The Z6 II and the Z8 are kind of my workhorse cameras when I have jobs that I need to basically get paid for, really. The Z8 will also be my landscape camera when I set out with a particular goal to capture landscapes. I want that extra resolution, and it does beautifully. Now, what I don't like about this camera is where we're going to start. Now, the one thing I don't like, it's on the back here, this button here. Now on the Z6 and Z6 II, that button is actually the playback button. Here, the playback button is down here. Yes, I know it mirrors the Z9 cameras and those high-end cameras that Nikon have. However, I just feel that on my other cameras that's here, that's the one thing I've had to get used to. And yes, it bothers me sometimes, not greatly. Takes me a couple of minutes with using the Z8 to kind of go, that's right, the playback button is down the bottom and not at the top. So again, yeah, it kind of sucks, but not a huge deal breaker for me. Okay. The other thing is, I believe with a battery grip, the camera actually does become a little bit bigger physically than the Z9. So again, I would not put a battery grip on this camera. Other than that, there's nothing else I don't like about the camera. I think it's an actually beastie camera. Things I love about it, I've already said it slots into my workflow really easily. It's customizable like the other Z systems, so that's perfect. I really love the screen, the way it articulates. You know, it's my first camera where I can do it does the tilt on the vertical, it can also do the horizontal. It's just a fantastic screen. Now, the viewfinder and the screen, I believe there are a few on the market which are actually higher resolution than these, but to me, I have always found the Z system amazing in regards to viewfinder and rear screen. I think the resolution is fantastic for me. I have loved it. The other thing I really love about the camera, XQD and SD or compact flash, sorry, CF Express. Again, same media as my D850 uses, same media as the Z6 II uses, and also the Z6. So I haven't had to go buy new memory cards. Resolution of the camera, fantastic, love it. Dynamic range, spot on. Vibration reduction, perfect. The autofocus, wow, I was blown away with the autofocus, to be honest with you. Now I know people are going to go, it's not the fastest, there's other ones better, Sony might be better, Canon might be better. I don't really care. At the end of the day, I can capture what I'm pointing the camera at, and that to me is the most important thing. It does a great job. I have shot out of a helicopter with this. I have shot landscapes, I've shot astro, I have shot a wedding with this. The camera is an absolute beast of a camera. My favorite camera before this was a D850. I love the D850, I think it's my favorite DSLR. Close tie between it and the D700 for me. But in regards to mirrorless, this is my favorite camera. I've used the Z9. I think this is every bit as good as the Z9. I've used it with different lenses. I've used it with adapted lenses, and again, just blown away by its performance. The Z8 definitely performs. After having it for 4 months, 3 months, whatever it may be now, to me, it is the perfect camera for what I do. Like I said, I shoot a little bit of everything. Family portraits, weddings, landscapes. The camera is beautiful. It performs. I haven't had to redo my workflow. Massively important to me. This camera is going to be part of me and my business for a long time to come. I'm going to be doing more YouTube stuff, so keep an eye out for that. This camera is going to be there alongside me, along with the Z6 and Z6 II. They're going to form, my kit now. My D850 is still going to be there, but I suspect it will be retired shortly because of the Z8. And I'm going to move to fully mirrorless. I think Nikon have done a great job with the mirrorless system. I think we've seen it mature. I think the firmware that updates that they unlock and unlock features has been fantastic. So they've done a great job. The Z8, fantastic offering. Probably one of the best cameras I have ever used, to be honest. Would I buy a Z9 after using the Z8? My personal opinion is if you need battery life and stuff like that, the Z9 is where it's at. The bigger batteries, the performance you get, fantastic. I have an ample supply of EL15 batteries. I don't have to worry about that. I'm actually glad I don't have to go out and buy a whole lot of new batteries. To me, Z8 is the perfect camera for me. It fits in my workflow, fits in my kit beautifully, seamless. As I mentioned, I really love just how good it is. The other thing I love about the camera, ergonomics, that grip is beautiful, nice and chunky, amazing. You can see I don't have tiny hands, but I don't have huge hands, and it just, you can see there, the grip is really good size. I don't need to get a battery grip for it. I don't think I will. And I use the L bracket. Obviously gives me a lot of options when I shoot landscape. It's just an amazing camera. You can see how deep that grip is there. Like I said, the only thing I don't like about it, playback button down here, not here. Again, not a huge deal breaker for me. Absolute beast of a camera. Nikon have killed it. So thank you, Nikon. And guys, keep an eye out for other videos coming. If you like what you see, give me a follow, thumbs up, make a comment. But yeah, Z8 for me. Nikon have done a winner. I bought it on launch day, and I would have bought it again today if I could. Awesome, guys. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.